we've talked about it a couple times, or it keeps coming up, and I know it's a big topic for a lot of people, and I know your view on it is very different than other people's views out there. And this whole thing on Candida. Now, we know that we actually, have that inhabiting our GI system. It's a symbiotic relationship, and you have a lot of people out there saying, well, if you have a Candida overgrowth, that you need to cut out all sugars from the diet. Now, what's your take on why do we get the overgrowth? And from what I've read, your belief, I could be speaking wrong, it's because we're not getting enough sugar, because they feed on sugar. So if they're not getting enough, they're going to overgrow to kind of go elsewhere. It's almost like an immune system reaction.
René Dubois, who was a bacteriologist mostly, mentioned that I think he had some pictures of the Candida-type yeast, which were starved, and when they're fed sugar, if you have a lot of them in your stomach, you can get drunk on the fermenting sugars. But in the intestine, normally, if they're living far enough up that they even get the sugar, they should be way down in the lower intestine. Your sugar should be absorbed in the upper couple of feet, 2 or 3 feet of intestine.
Mm-hmm.
But if they do get sugar, the worst they can do is make ethanol. And ethanol in small amounts isn't at all harmful. And Dubois showed that if you starve these yeasts that are just happily making some ethanol out of the sugar, when they don't get sugar, they start sending out pseudopods or pseudohyphae, I think he calls them, which are invasive filaments that will sink into the intestine looking for sugar. And that's the point at which they can actually travel through your intestine and get into your systemic tissues looking for more glucose. So really, having sugar in your diet, if you have a fair infestation of yeast for some reason in your intestine, sugar is a defensive means while you're trying to figure out how to get rid of the yeast, which carrots will usually do fairly quickly.